ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् यदविद्याविलासेन भूतभौतिकसृष्टयः तं नौमि परमात्मानं सच्चिदानन्दविग्रहम्. Okay, any questions, clarifications before we go ahead? You had a question? About Sambandha? The ending, yeah, the last one para. Good point. Today's class covers that. Good, very good point. Yeah, no, it's a very good point. We'll cover that. Then today's next para is covering that. Yeah. Any other questions, clarifications?
So, Swamiji,
yeah?
In the last class, when you described avidya upahita chaitanya.
Yeah.
And in another context, you had used it as avidya avachinna chaitanya.
Yeah, avachedaka is the same.
Okay,
Avachedaka is that which conditions. Yeah. So, it is the same thing, in the same meaning. Yeah.
Okay, upahita and
Upahita and avacheda are used interchangeably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
They are not the exact same meaning, but they are used interchangeably. Yeah.
Good morning, Swamiji.
Yeah, good morning. Any other questions, clarifications, or it's all clear? Okay. Okay. So we are dealing with vritti is meant for sambandha. Okay. All right. So here that same Purvapaksha is being handled, Okay. Therefore he says the vritti helps the sambandha to make the avachedaka, to make the manifestation possible. Okay. Yeah. And he says Nanu avidya upadikasya aparichinnasya jivasya स्वत एव समस्त वस्तु संबंधस्य वृत्ति विरह दशायां संबंध अभाव अभिधान असंगत. The Purvapaksha starts in the reverse order of what you had said. Okay, he says avidya upadikasya apirichanna jivasya. If it is avidya upahitam, then the jiva is consciousness manifest in avidya, na? Therefore apirichanam, not limited. Therefore swata eva samasta vastu sambuddhasya. It is connected with all the vastus, na? Because one consciousness is connected with everything. Therefore vritti viraha dashayam, where there is no vritti, then the vritti of that what has not taken place in my mind. Okay, dashayam sambandha abhavam sambandha abhava abhidhanam asangatam. To say that there is no sambandha is not tenable. Why? Sambandha is always there. Because consciousness is all pervading. And jiva is consciousness manifested in the avidya. Therefore it should be. Okay, it's a Purvapaksha. Then he says असंगत्व दृष्टया संबंध अभाव अभिधाने च वृत्ति अनंतरमपि संबंधः न स्यात्. You say no, consciousness is asangah, is not connected with anything. Correct? Is consciousness not described as asangah, untouched by anything? Then even when the vritti happens, it will be untouched by everything. How will the vritti bring about a sambandha? Because asanga with the vritti also. That Purva, what your question you asked now is being elaborated. So if you are saying vritti is bringing about a sambandha, the sambandha already exists because avidya upahitam chaitanyam. If you say Atma is Asangha, then even with the vritti, the Sangha will not come. because Atma Asangaha. So both ways, Sambandha is not possible. Therefore, you have to have some other explanation for your knowledge. Are you understanding the Purva Paksha in this? No doubt over the Purva Paksha, right?
But the Sambandha is with respect to Maya only, no?
Yeah, yeah.
With respect to the consciousness.
No, no. With the knower, with the this. What is the knower? Consciousness. Now, knower, consciousness manifests in Antakarna or Avidya. Two standpoints. We are talking about consciousness, previously handled consciousness manifests in Antakarna, which is all clear. Now he is saying if it is consciousness manifest in Avidya, what is the problem? Can you say Jiva is not consciousness manifested in Avidya? Can you say that? You can't say that. Because Avidya is self-evident. Anubhava Siddham. Self-evident meaning Anubhava Siddham. It's established by your Anubhava. I don't know that. Okay. Yeah. Therefore, consciousness manifested in Avidya is Jiva. फिर ये प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगा. Either you will have to say Sambandha is always there but knowledge is not taking place, or you will have to say knowledge can never take place because Sambandha cannot be established. Atma Asangatvat. You have a doubt, or you are trying to get it. Whatever it is, this Purva Paksha is applicable to this standpoint. Yeah. Okay. Iti chet uchyate. If this is your stand, I'll give you answer that. Okay. Nahi vritta viriha dashayam jivasya gatadinam saha sambandha samanyam nishedam. Saying this, okay. There is a samanya sambandha between the consciousness and everything. Satyam mithya sambandha. Remember, Adhyasa Bhashya. Sambandha has to be Satyam mithya sambandha, there is no other sambandha. But Satyam mithya samanya sambandham is there. So when you are saying vritti is not there, knowledge doesn't take place, we are not trying to negate that sambandha or establish that sambandha. The absence of vritti is not negating that sambandha, nor is the presence of vritti talking about that sambandha. The samanya sambandha is always there, because everything mithya is dependent on satyam. Everything mithya is dependent on satyam. All right, then what? Such a sambandha vishesha vishayasya jiva taichanyasya vyanjaka lakshanaha kadachid taddashaka avritihi nibandhanaha. Then what we are talking about? That sambandha. It's a vishesha sambandha we are talking about, where the vishya, which is vishayasya jiva chaitanyasya, the jiva chaitanya that is there. Vyanjaka lakshana. Vyanjaka lakshana. Something is illumined and something is the illuminator. Something is known, something is a knower. That sambandha we are talking about. We are not talking about the samanya sambandha. Between the two. Consciousness manifests in avidya jivaha. Consciousness manifests in the gataha object. Between them, the knower known sambandha is what we are talking about. That Vyanjaka is what we are talking about. Vyanjaka, Vanjakya, Vyanjaka sambandha. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Is knowledge satyam or mithya? You are gaining knowledge of something. Pot. Is that knowledge satyam or mithya? Okay. Knowledge of pot is mithya because pot itself is mithya. Okay. Knowledge of Atma that takes place in your mind, satyam or mithya?
Mithya.
Yeah.
Two opinions. One is Satyam, one is Mithya. It has to be Mithya because vritti, it's a thought. Yeah. It's a Mithya thing. So, jnanam krutva nashyati. Yeah. Yeah, because it is born, dies down. So how can it be Satyam? Before the pramana usage, that vritti was not there. After a minute, it dies down. Therefore, it is not always only Atma is Satyam, everything else is Mithya. But that vritti jnanam is good enough to negate avidya, which is also Mithya. Avidya is not Satyam. The example given is kantena kantakam. You remove a thorn with another thorn. That's the example. Another modern examples, you go to your doctor, ate too much of food last night, party eating, indigestion. The doctor gives, here, eat this mixture. Doctor, my problem is I've eaten too much. Now you are adding more into it. No one says that. Why? That mixture helps eliminate whatever is there in your system. Same here. Same here. Yeah. Old examples contain a kantakam. Okay, now he is illustrating that. Tatahi tejasam antakarnam swachha dravyatvat. Your antakarna is tejasam, capable of knowing. Why? Swachha dravyatvat. It's a pure dravya, made of apanchīkrita panchabhutas. Apanchīkrita panchabhutas. Therefore, swachha dravyatvat. Okay? Swata eva jiva chaitanya abhivyajakam samartham. Swata eva, by itself, it is capable of manifesting, reflecting. Now look at the words used, vyanjaka, of reflecting consciousness. Otherwise, how can you say, I know, I am conscious, I am alive? All these statements, in fact, you don't have to say anything. You just have to say, I am. I am implies that the mind, because of such a dravya, is capable of reflecting the consciousness. Okay. Gatadikastu na tatha aswachha dravyatvat. Whereas a pot, etc., is not like that, because made by panchīkrita bhutani, not pure. Therefore, it cannot reflect consciousness. Then, swa akara vritti samyoga dashayanstu vritti abhibhuta jadya dharmakataya vritti upadita chaitanya abhivyanjana yogita ashrayata cha vritti udaya anantaram chaitanyam abhivyanakti. Okay. Then swa akara vritti samyogena gatadi akara vritti samyogena. When that vritti takes place, then what happens? Okay. Then vritti abhibhuta jadya dharmakata. Abhibhuta jadya dharmakata vritti upadita chaitanya abhivanjana yogyata. The vritti has got what? Vritti upadita chaitanya abhivanjaka yogyata ashrata. That object becomes the ashraya now of the vritti that is capable of manifesting consciousness. Katapata language, you know, ulta bilta karke laga. If I translate it literally, it will make no sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yogita. Such a vritti udayantaram. After the vritti has come up, chaitanya abhivinakti, the consciousness also manifests there. Consciousness manifests there meaning it is capable of being known. Knowability comes in. Here, known comes into it. Meaning knower comes into it. The knower is manifest. There, the known is manifest. Consciousness is manifest, but as a known there, as a knower here. The only difference. Why? Because here it is direct in the antakarnam, there it is indirect through a vritti. Because it is indirect through a vritti, it becomes known. Because direct in the mind itself, it becomes knower. Clear? In simple terms, consciousness manifests in the mind is a knower. The same consciousness through a vritti, when you see an object, the consciousness manifests as the known. That's all.
Because mind also known.
Huh?
We actually say mind is also known.
Yeah, mind is also known. So, but mind is associated with consciousness. Mind doesn't stand apart from the consciousness. See, that is the thing. The fact that nothing in the world stands apart from consciousness. If it stands apart, you will never know. Even without standing apart, you don't know a lot of things. That's why we say when you describe the Atma, you know what you know what you don't know also. No? As you don't know, you know. It's an object of your ignorance, you know that much. If, as they say in Neo Vedanta, consciousness is beyond everything, then there is no way you will know anything. How will you know anything beyond? You won't know you exist also. How will you know I exist? Yeah, not possible. Therefore, if any trace, if any whiff, if any smell of that beyond is there in your mind, negate that, okay? It is not beyond anything.
Actually, I still have a doubt.
Huh?
I have a doubt on this.
Yeah.
So, just came to me the analogy. There is the same thing like Kshetra Kshetrajna.
Same thing as?
Kshetra Kshetrajna. Is it the consciousness manifested in the mind
Yeah.
and the consciousness manifested in the object?
Yeah.
It is all comes in the knower, no? Nothing like
It all comes
in
to-
the known, no? It will not come in the knower, right?
How is it connected with the knower? Through the mind. Otherwise, there is no connection.
So then, the consciousness manifested in the mind, it always becomes the knower, or what?
It's always?
The knower.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Where does the Kshetra Kshetrajna start?
Where does what start?
The Kshetra Kshetrajna.
Kshetra Kshetrajna. Okay.
Where does it start? Means when the mind becomes a Kshetra.
Yeah. See, that Kshetra Kshetrajna, what does he say? It's a good question. How does that Kshetra Kshetrajna thing come in? Idam shariram tu kaunteya kshetramiti abhidiyate. Then he goes to mind, this, that, the whole universe. As kshetram he describes.
The mind starts there.
Yeah. So the mind is right there.
So it becomes known in that night.
Yeah.
It becomes known.
It was. So it is all capable of being known. Then Kshetrajna is a knower. Kshetrajna is a...
Not like that. Here it is different. Here
No, it is not different. It is reflected. Consciousness reflected in the mind is knower. Kshetrajna. That is why he says, Kshetrajnam chu mam vidhi. Know me as the Kshetrajna in all the Kshetras. All the Kshetras means I am Kshetrajna there also, no? With a pot. I am Kshetrajna, I don't know what is there on Mars. Kshetrajna, I am knower there. As ignorance, I am knowing. Kshetrajnam cha am vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. The whole universe. Therefore, that's a Mahavakya. I always said that's a Mahavakya, remember? Yeah. So the Kshetrajna is me, Ishvara. That me there is Ishvara. That's why I always said in Gita, whether you accept Krishna as Ishvara or not, the standpoint is Ishvara's standpoint. When Krishna is talking, he is talking from Ishvara's standpoint. Therefore, Kshetrajna is me, he says. Ishvara. Then Bhagatyaga Lakshana, all that comes in, and there's only one consciousness left behind. So there also is the same. Yeah. Here it is technically analyzed. There it is put without technicalities. That's the only difference. Yeah. Because this came up to answer Tarkika arguments. So this is also useful to answer arguments from science. Yeah. Because similar background, similar standpoint. Philosophy of science and Tarka are very close to each other. Yeah. That there are certain eternal objects. What that eternal things are, you will change. But atoms are constant. And those type of things are the same. Everything has to be objectified. So when you look at those things, it's also similar. So if you learn a little bit of these type of text, no argument from science is a problem. Yeah. Of course, if you know a little bit of science, it's better, it's easier to dismiss.
Swamiji,
Yeah?
in that verse, idam shariram kaunteya, the shariram, the individual mind is also...
Yeah. You didn't take it. Why? Because, why does he start? Because with respect to the world, there is no confusion that I am not the world. But here there is confusion, whether this is Kshetram or not. Therefore, he starts with that. Yeah. Because the sense of I is there up to the body. Na? My clothes are, nothing touches me closer than my clothes. But I don't have a confusion, cloth is me or not. But body, that confusion is there. Therefore, it starts with the body. Yeah. Though I am sure the first time, forget aliens, the first time a wild animal sees a human being, first time a wild animal, I don't know whether such a wild animal exists now, who has not seen a human being. He will wonder whether the clothes are him or not him. Whatever he sees is the person. Yeah. That's why in the wild, if you have an animal, put something on top of your head. Take your backpack and put it on top of your head. Why? You look bigger than what you are then. Because he doesn't look at you as that backpack is separate from you. He doesn't look at you. Just one of the ways of escaping a wild. Provided that backpack makes you look bigger than the animal or big enough to challenge that animal. With an elephant, it won't work. With a leopard, etc., it may work because you look big then, you know. Because if you notice, most of the predators hunt animals smaller than themselves. Yeah. Even lions are wary of hunting a wild buffalo. If in a herd, they are wary of it. Yeah. If single, then a pride can overcome it. Yeah. All right. Therefore, yogita, okay. Gatadikasthataya. Okay, tadantanam chaitanyam abhivyakti. Okay. Taduktam vivarne. Where did you get all these ideas? Kidhar se? Is it your swayam kapola kalpitam? You are imagining certain things and arguing about it? No. Vivarna. Okay. What is vivarna? Yaad hai? Yeah. Shankara Bhashya and Brahma Sutra. Nyaya Nirnaya. Explain further in Vivarna. Explain further in Vivarna Prameya Sangraha. Okay. Yeah. Then there are a lot of texts depending upon the Vivarna school. This is one of them. Okay. Yeah. Taduktam Vivarne. What? Antakarnam hi swasmineva swasangati sangirnahapi gatado chaitanya abhiviktyaho yogyatam apadayati. He says, Antakarnam, your mind, swasminiva, like in itself, sasangirnyapi, whatever it is connected to, like gatadau. Connected means vritti, etc. Understand that. Gatadau, chaitanya abhivyakti yogitam apadayati. The abhivyakti yogitam, the capacity of it becoming known, apadayati, is given to the object. Given to the object. Yeah. In short, what is it? Look at it. The process of knowing in Vedanta, if you look at it, consciousness manifests in you, you become the knower. Why? Because your antakarna can reflect it. Whereas, that is why you are self-evident to yourself. This is an important point in Vedanta, that you are self-evident to yourself because your mind manifests the consciousness. If the mind was not going to manifest consciousness, you will not be able to say I am. And the capacity to say I am is universal. Yeah. Nobody doubts their own existence. Why you exist, you can ask a question. Why am I like this, you can ask a question. But that you are, you can't question. It's given. So this capacity is there. The same capacity is not there in any other object in the world. So all objects has to be known. What he is talking here is, how does the object become known? Because by itself it cannot make itself evident. When your mind is connected with that, because consciousness manifests in the world, it has a capacity of knowing, it transfers that ability of knowability to the object. And the object can also be known. Here we are questioning the very basis of your knowing. That you know by seeing. You know, okay, that's evident. How? That is inert, your eyes are inert. How? Because there is a mind behind it. Mind is inert, eyes are inert. Now, because it's connected to consciousness. So, that also is connected with consciousness. Then what is the difference? Then you are saying, no, because the mind is made of pure materials, it can reflect the consciousness. Okay. Then when that mind is associated with the object, how will the mind be associated with the object? Only through a vritti. Vritti gyanam has to take place. No? The whole mind is not associated. If the whole mind was associated with that pot, the pot will start speaking. Yeah, the pot will become a living entity then. As though some ghost has got into it. So the only way it can connect is through a vritti. Because then that also reflects consciousness enough to be known. Not enough to be a knower, because only one vritti is connected with it. Whole mind is not connected with it. Whole mind was connected with it, as I said, they'll become another entity. But only one vritti is connected with it. So it becomes known. I, where the whole mind is connected, becomes knower. That's why the sambandha. Yeah? Tell me. What exactly you are not getting?
Yeah, my exact doubt is the consciousness manifested in the mind is the knower, and the object is the known. Knower, known. So, with that, I'm just
Yeah, please.
I may be completely wrong, but
No, doesn't matter, say it.
Then in that case, what analysis I draw is that this mind becomes satyam and this becomes mithya. This is exactly what yoga and all trying to do, that they give so much importance to the mind that then the mind is everything and everything is known to the mind. So then the mind is glorified.
Correct. It is not only yoga.
So then all material tai chi. So then mind is at the pedestal and mind becomes the knower and it becomes satyam. So I am still
See, the mind this is called a relative satyam. Like when you say, kurta is mithya, cloth is satyam. Are you really saying cloth is satyam? Or you are saying within that example, it will be satyam? So Rupam drik, Rupam drishyam, Lochanam drik. Remember? Drik drishya viveka. Rupam is drishyam, object of your knowledge. Eyes are the scene. Therefore, eyes become satya. But Lochanam drik, drishyam. Lochanam also becomes drishyam. Why? Mind is the drik. So mind becomes satyam, Lochanam becomes mithya. Then Manasa api drishyam, aham drik. Therefore mind becomes mithya, this becomes satya. And aham sada drishyameva, sada drik eva, natu drishyam. So it's the same thing. So yoga is stuck at that point. When most people teach yoga, they are stuck at that point. Yeah, they are stuck at that point. Tai Chi, everything is stuck. That's why Tai Chi is based on Shunya, so we'll talk about Shunya afterwards. Now, if you are doing Shunya meditation as a discipline for your mind, it is good. But to take IS Shunya is not a good thing. Yeah. That is the thing. That's why it's limited. All this, don't look at any of them for knowing the truth. Knowing the truth, come to Vedanta. All of them are good for other things. Health.
This example can be read by them as
They take it like that. Yeah. Mind is everything, it's not everything. Yeah. True. Yeah. That is true. There's a drawback in that. That's a drawback. Even though Buddhism is an offshoot from Hinduism, but because Buddha himself did not teach, people interpreted it in various ways. And then it came to this. True. So at that final point, that's why our sir keeps telling me, that last point I can't catch. I said, you will not catch. In your system, you will not catch it, I told him. Categorically, you won't also. You have to come here for that.
9 levels and then Tao is not known.
Tao is not known, exactly, yeah. And if you look at the descriptions of Tao in books like on Taoism, they are trying to talk about it from the standpoint of the Atma only. There's an effort at that. It is clear, it is untouched with everything, it reflects everything. What are you talking about? Untouched by anything, reflects everything. Atma only, na? So they use some of these things, but they make it very mysterious because it is not clear. It sounds mystic because it is not clear. Mysticism involves some lack of clarity and experience orientation. That's why Samadhi becomes the most important thing.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
In psychology, they will try to control the mind.
Yeah.
Mind is the problem.
To only become Samadhi, to only get Samadhi. The control is only for that, to get into Samadhi. That's why I ask all my students to see that movie, Indo-Tibetan production, called Samsara. Beautiful thing. Yeah, beautiful movie. It talks about the problem of that thinking, how it does not solve the issue. It does not solve the issue of Pariksha Lokan also is not there. In the movie also, Pariksha Lokan, he had to go and do it afterwards. And he got into all sorts of trouble. That is how it is. Beautiful book, beautiful movie, nicely said. Though again, in the conclusion, it is all about yoga. How to handle that, It starts with, how do you prevent a drop of water from drying up? How do you do it? You throw it into the ocean. So there again it is a yoga thing. Remember, joining, to join to this is based on that. You have to become one. Whereas Vedanta is about an obtaining oneness. You already are one. You don't have to become one. You just have to discover that oneness. That's already there. Huge difference between the two standpoints. Yeah. Therefore, even though I go and talk in yoga festivals, etc., this part of it, no, I make it a point there also to make it different. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, yeah.
But it's the classic case of where the sampradaya is not there.
Exactly.
Because we take you down the garden path,
Yeah.
and then for you to go that last step is impossible.
No. You have to take that leap into the great unknown.
Which is where our sampradaya right from the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning it is this thing. In fact, many of these problems are eliminated right in the beginning itself. If you look at the way I've been teaching, transcendence, etc., I mentioned because that is there in people's. Otherwise, there is no need to mention that only, because nobody will even think like that. Straight away it goes into the thing. Yeah. Straight away it's going into that. Yeah.
From nothing comes nothing. So then that thought is eliminated there only. Because
Yeah.
that shunyavada is
Yeah, exactly. True. Yeah. True. That is why some of the mystics in that discipline, they have got insights into this. Personal insights. They can't teach, but they got an insight into it. That's why I said, when I talk to Zen masters and everything, they say, no, Zen is not shunya, really speaking. It is everything. It is not. You don't exactly. That's why we came across that term. Instead of shunya, use objectless reality. Shunya is objectlessness. Yes, objectless reality. That's acceptable. Yeah. Nirgunam Brahma, or kya? Objectless reality is what? It's not a word I have coined up. I coined the term depending upon the Shastra, nothing else. Yeah. I won't coin up an independent word unless it's got its root in the Shastra. Once I used an argument in the early days of my teaching. I said, have I really formed a new argument that is not there before? Let me look into the Chandogya Upanishad. I looked into it. No, the root is here. I said, okay, then I am on right track. Why? Because the root is there. Then I am on right track. Why? I only developed it, which is the teacher's job anyway. So the root is there. That's why here also he is quoting the root. Nothing. There is no creative interpretation of Vedanta. No creative interpretation. All there already. You can be creative in your teaching to help people understand. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Drishtam cha swachha dravyasyapi swachha dravyasya sambandha dashayam pratibimba grahitvam. Okay, and drishtam cha. Okay. It's also observed that a aswachha dravya. Aswachha dravya. Let us take this Sanmaika here. Aswachha dravya. It does not reflect me. When it is connected with swachha, has a sambandha with swachha dravya, like put some water on it, what will happen? It will reflect my face. It gains the capacity to reflect based on the swachha dravya. Okay. So swachha dravyashayam pratibimba grahitvam. Tatha kudyadi jaladi samyoga dashayam mukhadi pratibimba grahita. Kudyadi. Kudyadi is a stone. Well cut stone. By itself it does not reflect, but you put water on it, it reflects. Or you polish it nicely, it will reflect, make it pure. Polishing is what? Making it pure. Then it will reflect. The first mirrors that were invented was actually brass mirrors. They were made of brass. Bronze Age, bronze. And how will you reflect? By polishing. That's why this whole idea of polishing came up from there actually. Yeah, then it'll reflect the face. It's like buying a new steel plate from the market and getting it. You can see your face. After some time of the buy scrubbing it, all types of scratches, this, that, etc. You can't see anything in it. As long as it's clean, you're happy. Okay. Gatadehe abhiviganjakatvam cha prapibinda grahitvam. Gatadehe abhiviganjakatvam cha pratibimba grahitvam. Okay. So, Gatadehe abhivyajaka. For a pot, etc., what is this abhivyajaka? He says, Tat pratibimba grahitvam. Being holding on to the pratibimba. Holding on to the pratibimba will only be a thought. Therefore, being known. So, this, because of the connection of the mind, I become the knower because the whole mind is involved. That becomes the known. But that known is actually the property belonging to consciousness, isn't it? Asti bhati priyam rupam namasyamsha panchakam aditrayam brahma rupam jagad rupam tato anyata. I never thought I would by heart all the Sanskrit verses. Kya kuru? Itna time sikhaya, by heart ho gaya. Yeah. Asti bhati priyam. Asti bhati, let us take it. Is and bhati, it is known or it is capable of knowing. Both are dependent on consciousness. Both are dependent on mind. That bhati there, either bhati swayam bhati or manasa bhati, connected through the mind. But that is Brahma Rupam because of the connection with Brahman. And if you bring in Asangatvam, Mithya connection. That's why Adhyasa Bhashya starts with that, that there is no connection possible except Satyam Mithya. Yeah. What is the connection between the rope and the snake? Don't say both can kill. One by biting you and another by hanging yourself. That is how you are using it. That is not the sambandha. There is no sambandha possible. How is any sambandha possible between a rope and a snake? One cannot become the other. One cannot be connected with the other. One cannot appear as the other except by ignorance mithya. Adhyasa. That's the only way. Similarly here, adhyasa sambandha. All sambandha here is adhyasa. Sambandha of the mind with the consciousness, adhyasa. Sambandha of the gata with the consciousness, adhyasa. Adhyasa sambandha. There is no other sambandha. Because he said sambandha, I don't say sambandha is real. Connection. Interconnectedness. Adhyasa. Because you speak of a disconnectedness, we have to talk about a connectedness. That knowledge of Ishvara is enough to feel connected. Yeah. Yeah. Then you're connected with everything. No? To feel one with everything, then you need Vedanta Jnanam. That to recognize one with everything. Yeah. Okay, Chaitanya Abhimanjaya to Tatra Pratibindvatgatvam. Okay. Both Ishvara is? Yeah, it helps to understand. Even if you don't use the word Ishvara, when you present existence consciousness as the basis for everything, you are implying Ishvara there. Because you have to imply intelligence also there. That's why if you notice in the way I have explained Ishvara, etc., I have always given examples of intelligence being manifest. How in that tree, the seed of the tree, there is genetic coding was going to happen to the tree after 100 years. Secondary root is going to come, this, that, etc. All that thing is what? Intelligence functioning. No? The seed is codified intelligence. Human being, zygote, codified intelligence. So always bring in intelligence because that's Ishvara's order. That only helps you to understand that Ishvara. You see, Ishvara, what else implies? And the Swarupa, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Swarupa is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That's why we don't say Ishvara is Mithya. Nor do we say Jiva is Mithya. We say Jiva Brahma eva. No? If Jiva is nothing but Brahman, is Ishvara going to be different from Brahman? No. Then what is Mithya? Manifestation. Manifestation is Mithya. So you can negate only the manifestation. Though we say from Ishvara negate, even this, see, when you are saying from Ishvara you negate this, etc., what are you negating? Bhagatyaga Lakshana, no? One part is being retained. No? Therefore, there is never a total negation either of the Jiva or of Ishvara. This is a mistake Shunyavadis make. They try to negate everything. Now, are you getting this? That's difference. It's important to understand that difference. Yeah. Stands for consciousness. Yeah.
Because the capacity to know,
Yeah.
which is either individual or total.
Yeah. Exactly.
Total knowledge.
Yeah.
Then it is irrelevant.
Correct.
That will,
Yeah.
given in that
So even though, the potential of Ishvara is right there. That is why I always use another term. In fact, even your, who is that writer? Deepak Chopra uses this term, which is a good term. What is Ishvara? The state of pure potentiality. Huh? That is what Tai Chi uses. Shiso में क्या करता है? Kinetic energy is expended. What is that point? Potential energy of the other person is maximum, isn't it? That is Ishvara. If you catch that point, you say that you have touched the Tao. Why? Potentiality. Ishvara is nothing but total potentiality.
this is the relation to the dawn and dusk and early morning and the
Yeah. The Sandhi. Yeah. Yeah. So that. Yeah. So now, once again, and why am I using the word pure potentiality? This is also important to see that. Because the moment you are talking of pure potentiality, even when the manifestation is not there, Ishvara is there, na? Manifestation is not there, but Ishvara is there or not? In Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, is there not the potentiality for the whole creation? Yes, there. I was from where it came. Somewhere else. Maya is not separate from Brahman. So that word, to understand Ishvara as total potential is important. I mean, potentiality is a modern English term, that's all. It's all there in the Shastra. Na? Tasmad etasmad atmana akasha sambhuta. Na? From that Brahman Atma only Akasha has come. Na? That means there is a state of pure potentiality. There's a potential for the whole thing.
Sir, they are talking about 5 eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Everybody is conscious.
So, what is the whole point? In this, what is the whole point? The point is that Ishvara cannot be negated, really speaking. Manifestations only can be negated. That's why they say Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman is Ishvara. Why? Because that's all the potential of the whole creation is there. Yeah. Mithya, it is there. It is Mithya creation, but Mithya is there. Yeah.
capacity to know is Ishvara.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Any knowledge is Ishvara.
Yeah.
Anything
Exactly.
the knower
You are peeping into Ishvara's mind. In the development of knowledge, what you are doing is peeping into Ishvara's mind.
can be forgotten
Aparavidya, anything. It's all peeping into Ishvara's mind. Yeah. Okay, then a new section starts from here. That we will see next time. Couple of minutes early, but good place to stop. Okay, because after this a whole new section starts. Okay, so good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.